Clearly one of those indicators that the basketball season's here. We've got a couple of practices underneath our belt, and really excited about the start. We've got a lot of rough edges to kind of smooth out, and a lot of things to learn and discover about this team, because there's so many new pieces. But I really like the pieces. I like the things that really make teams special that I see in this team, of how they love each other, the chemistry, how hard they're working through trying to learn things and trying to do those things together. So it's been a really, really positive start, and we're ready to see what the year brings.
How different is it? Challenge is it to blend so many new pieces on a team that was successful?
It's a tremendous challenge, but also a super fun challenge. Success is not as much about achievement, as much as it is of who you're doing things with, and we have the right who's in the room. We've got the right who's in our locker room, and so, like I said, there's a lot of learning. There's just things that are going to take time and reps and correction and film and all those aspects that go into coaching. But at the end of the day, we feel like we've got the right pieces, and we hope that those kids can stay healthy. They've been working hard. They're working hard to establish the identity of who they are. But that's definitely a discovery process.
In year two, you seem to be ahead of the curve of where you probably had your goal set at year one. Tell us about where you had your goal set for this team in year two.
That's hard, because we didn't even go into last year with like, here's what we want to accomplish, or here's what we think we can accomplish. We went into a mindset of, having an open mind, and really like, let's just discover what this team it can be, and let's not limit them by maybe assigning some goals that might not fit them. And so I really like that approach of like, let's just try to get a little bit better every day, and then let's see where we end up. And, kind of going back to what I said earlier, I think we've got the right folks in the locker room that if we can stay committed to that idea of just improving just a little bit every single day, then we're going to be at a place we want to be when it's all said and done.
When you first took the job, you had to sell recruits on the idea of building a program. How much easier is that to do now that you've established some success in year one?
Well, we definitely have a little bit of a different message as we're, recruiting the 2020 class and the 2021 class. But there's parts of the message, though, that haven't changed, and that's, the advantage and privilege to be able to go to this university and all that means, and to play in this league, which is so tough, and I think draws the best of student athletes, especially at the scholastic level. If just coming in and finding out who you are. So some parts of the message haven't changed. We do have a little bit more credibility, I guess you could say, as we're trying to talk about the things that we want to achieve, and that's like our football coach likes to say, the best is the standard, and that's what we're aspiring to, is to become the best, and we hope that we'll continue throughout the recruiting battles to attract the right people that want to be part of the way we're doing things, and we believe wholeheartedly in the way we're doing things, and that's going to lead to some of that winning and accomplishments. But that's the message.
Amanda, you had great senior leadership last year, and those girls and stuff. Unfortunately for you, are all gone. Who's kind of stepped up this year to kind of take over for those girls and kind of lead you when you're not around?
Well, I tell you what, we have a tremendous group of upperclassmen that have been working very hard this summer to be great upperclassmen, and I really commend all of them. When you go around our team, though, and say, who do you go to? Who are you listening to? What's the strongest voice in the locker room? Destiny Thomas and Tyler Bennett are doing a great job of that in our junior class, and then we have others that are kind of the supporting cast. Certainly, you never overlook your seniors and the impact that they have, and I think that China and Kobe are really doing things at that high level, that level of urgency that only seniors can do, and that's great modeling for our younger kids. But our junior class is really strong voices, strong work ethic. People that our younger players and our older players, all of them know that they can turn to, can talk to, and can go to with whatever the issue may be.
How easy was it this year in the offseason workouts and all to sell what was doing when you proved last year it works?
I don't. I guess I don't really think of it as selling, but I guess there's an aspect of that. I guess that's a fair way to characterize it. The thing that I like to really spend more time on with our team is, we're going to do things a certain way. We talk about TLC all the time, and C is commitment, and it's a commitment to a way of doing things that distinguishes us from everybody else. And our team takes great pride in that. They take great pride in doing things our way. And they're the ones that make that important, though. And so there is certainly buy-in and some of those other things that are part of that process. And then that goes right back to that other question again of who are the voices that are leading the locker room, who are the people that are modeling the right behavior, the right work ethic, saying the right things at the right time, and all of that works together.
Amanda, does the style of basketball on the court change because of who you lost, who's new, who you have to teach things?
Well, we definitely lost some very impactful defenders in all three of those senior guards, Simone and Danny, which were all ACC defensive, and then Aaliyah Collier, who was really the story of the last part of our season, February and March. And so there's big shoes to fill in that. We are kind of just discovering as we go, like, what is the best things for us to do as a program and as a team to put ourselves in position to be competitive and hopefully win. I think defensively there will be a lot of similarities, though. We just want to be that type of team that dictates the action. We want to be the type of team that throws the first punch. We're not interested in seeing if we can get back up off the floor after we've been hit in the mouth. We're going to try to really set the tone. That's the type of team that we want to be. I think the biggest difference is going to be on the offensive end. We're a little bit more skilled. Our depth is going to, I think, really help us on that end of the floor as well. We've got so many capable pieces, capable and willing pieces to just add to making our team, to make Team 45 the best that they can be this year.
Always a difficult schedule in the ACC, but in out of conference you play South Carolina, Maryland, Iowa. Is it easy to kind of get a sense of urgency out of your players, knowing the daunting schedule that lies ahead?
They better be urgent. There's no one on our schedule that I think that anyone's going to overlook. And that's starting with our first closed scrimmage and our exhibition against Lander, because that's what we want to be as a team that is mature enough and well led enough that we go into every single opportunity to compete trying to bring our best. There are some of those, really impressive and traditionally, successful names on our schedule, and those are fun to talk about. And certainly will be highlights, I think, for our fans, but for our team, we just want to get a little bit better every day, and then when we get a chance to compete against someone else, we want that to be a celebration.
Yeah, you went on the road this spring with the FTA circuit and all that. What was that like for you this year compared to last, and how have the fans embraced what you guys have already done?
I'm telling you what, I said this a lot last year of just how overwhelming it was, just the warm welcome and, just the sincerity of this community and of the Clemson Tiger faithful, and just how amazing, that has been. And then to go out on those prowl and growls and to be in different cities, to go into a spot like Florence, South Carolina, and there's just thousands of people there that are not just there to eat good barbecue and see Dabo, but to also, let us know that, hey, we're paying attention and we're proud of you, and we're getting women's basketball season tickets this year, and we're going to come up to as many games as possible. So I really think that there's a great appetite amongst our alumni and our fans to really celebrate great women's basketball. And so we want to be able to quench that thirst for them, that's for sure. But it's been a lot of fun.
Amanda, the newcomers, who are the ones who you're probably going to have to rely on right away?
Well, there's 8 of them. 8 out of our 14 eligible players this year are newcomers. And so that's a question that we're answering right now in practice. But one thing is certain, newcomers are going to be important. There's no question that newcomers are going to play a giant role in who we are at the beginning of the season, who we work towards becoming, and then who we ultimately are as we get into the latter part of the season. So they're all going to play and have the opportunity to have impact roles. And, there's some of that we can kind of take a stab at now, having 2 practices underneath our belt, but I think it's really going to be a whole lot of a discovery process as we go.
Getting a raise and extension after year 1, I guess, what kind of commitment does that show that you have to staying in Clemson, signing a new deal, and then also Clemson's commitment to you to kind of helping you continue to build this program?
Well, when I was offered the opportunity to come here and work, and when Dan and I had a chance to visit on my interview, I just said I want to be well led, and I want to be at a place where women's basketball is really important. And the leadership here from Dan and all of his senior staff, and Stephanie, my sports supervisor, and then all the way up to Dr. Clements, is I mean, it's really second to none. And then I think just that demonstration on his part with the extension and making women's basketball, there's certain tangible ways that you can demonstrate, yes, women's basketball is important, and that's one of them. And so I just feel really good about being here, about our leadership, and just really count it a blessing to be able to call myself a Clemson Tiger. So it's all good.